I'm going to show you part 10. Everybody say part 10. Part 10 of the Wilson Listen Plan for Small Groups. So part 10, make sure our voice is off, thank you so much. Part 10 is all about comprehension, and for a long time, for all purposes that you are concerned about, it's just a read aloud. Once you get into the upper books, this becomes something where you present kids with enriched text, maybe enriched text of something that they have already read, or wide reading around a topic that they know a lot about. But where you start is just a read aloud. So I like to pick short read alouds. I choose not to do a novel because I don't, if you're seeing a group of kids every day of the week, you might be able to do a novel and do like 5 to 10 minutes of reading, probably 10 at the end of every lesson. But when I only get to see kids twice a week, it's really hard to like maintain the momentum of a story with a novel. So I like to pick engaging short read alouds. This book is a great place to start. It's called Real Kids, Real Stories, Real Change. It's all about young people who have done amazing social justice-y things in the world, something like this. You could use a News ELA article as long as it's very high interest and very engaging. You could use a poetry book, but some short stories can be really, especially with the right group of kids. Yep, short stories could be cool. So that will be your discretion on what you pick. And like I said, some people do novels, and if you see kids frequently, you can maybe make that work. So we are going to read about, have you read about the Doggie Dung disaster? No. This group? The Doggie Dung disaster. Okay, so the Doggie Dung disaster, really quick before we do anything, let's build some context. Who knows what dung means? Nobody? Poop. Poop, it means poop. So the Doggie Dung disaster, dog poop disaster. What do we predict this story is going to be about?
Dog poop.
Okay, dog poop. Yang, what do you think is going to happen?
There'll be lots of dogs.
Lots of dogs, because if there's lots of dog poop, like a disaster, there probably has to be lots of dogs.
And guys cleaned up all the poop.
Oh, that poor person who has to clean up after the Doggie Dung disaster. Okay, so there are a variety of comprehension strategies I like to use. We have some go-tos here at Redwood, and I will attach this set of PDFs for you to use if you would like, or you could use your own comprehension strategies. So we always start with just what is the main idea. We make sure kids are really comfortable using this graphic organizer. It's a half sheet, and we talk about who or what is this mostly about, what's happening to the who or what, and then where, when, and why, any details. So that's the one I'm going to model tonight. We also use Visualizing and Verbalizing by Linda Mood Bell. We use their structure words. That might be, the second month or the second quarter. I might start incorporating those where we talk about the structure words to help us make a movie in our head. We also use, Bloom's self-questioning stems. So we start at the most basic level of comprehension, remembering. We move to understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. And we use these sentence stems to create our own questions or our own statements about the text. And then we also use 2-column notes. This is usually the progression we go. So 2-column notes, we practice dividing our piece of notebook paper into 2 columns, and we put over here the main idea and the details of what we read as we listen. For students who are unable to spell all of that, they can do picture notes for the main idea, but they're not ready for 2-column notes until they are masters of the main idea graphic organizer. Yeah. So I'm going to model this one tonight because this is the most basic, and this is where we always start with Redwood students. So everybody take one. I'm going to read aloud, and we're going to be first thinking just about the who or what is this mostly about. Who or what is it mostly about? I love how Rose is putting her name and date on it without me even asking. Excellent initiative.
I like blue.
So glad. Who or what is it mostly about? I'm also going to model chunking. So this, everybody, you can watch. This short story has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, okay? I'm going to read one paragraph. We're going to stop. We're going to talk about what we are picturing in our mind, okay? So where everyone is making a movie in our head. Oh, Doggie Dung. Not a very pleasant movie, but we're going to go for it, okay? First paragraph. Would you believe that a 12-year-old Japanese girl was named one of 9 heroes for the planet by Time magazine for picking up dog poop? What's even weirder is that this girl, like most people, hated picking up dog poop. So I'm going to draw a quick picture to show the movie that I'm making in my head. There's a little girl. They said little, so I'm going to make her look little, not like even like a teenager. I'm going to add pigtails because she's little. And she picked up, here's her hand, I guess, a whole bunch of dog poop.
What?
And she got a magazine article written about her. Ta-da! But it's not like she liked picking up the poop. She didn't like picking up the poop, just like you and I probably wouldn't like picking up the poop. So, who or what is this mostly about so far?
The little girl.
The little girl, right? This 12-year-old, oh, it did tell us how old she is, 12. This 12-year-old Japanese girl who picked up a bunch of dog poop. Let's read more. It was gross.
Can I write it down?
I would love, so in that tab box, if you want to draw the little girl, or you can write 12-year-old Japanese girl, whatever you prefer, to start making that movie in your head of, oh, this is mostly about this 12-year-old girl. We don't have her name yet, but we maybe will soon. It was gross, Haruka Muruno told Time Magazine in 2000. Oh, Haruka. I'm just going to write an H, because I don't know how to spell Haruka, but that might help me remember. Every morning when Haruka walked her dog, Patrick, I'm picturing her walking her dog, Patrick, she grimaced. Everyone grimace. Ugh, it's like a terrible face, right? Like, ugh, something bad happened. When she had to scoop his poop with a plastic bag over her hand. It felt warm and mushy. Lots of detail. Like a handful of, well, dog poop. Yuck. So I'm going to pause. What's happening to this who or what? It's about Haruka. And what happened first? She was picking up poop and she grimaced. I'm not even really going to add to my picture because I feel like I already captured that. That's part of my movie already. She's like, ugh, that grimace. And she's picking up that dog poop. Paragraph number 3. But it turned out that cleaning up after Patrick with a plastic bag was even more than just gross. It was also harming the environment. I love how I see 3 of you drawing and taking notes as I read, making that movie in your head. It was bad for the environment. Just like they keep your sandwich fresh for lunch. Ugh. Plastic bags also keep animal waste from decomposing. What does it mean to decompose?
Like disintegrate, basically.
Yeah, to break down, right? To break down. So, just like you know that plastic bag you put your sandwich in for lunch, or chips stay nice and crisp in a plastic bag. When you open the plastic bag and you leave it out for a couple nights, what happens to those chips? They get stale. That like soggy, stale, yucky texture. So the poop, it also keeps the poop from breaking down. Instead of becoming fertilizer, the poop bag combo just sat in a local landfill looking disgusting, smelling bad, and taking up space. What's a landfill?
Where they put garbage.
It's like,
Big mountains that are full of garbage bags.
so like you can mine.
So that you could mine. I don't think you would mine. Dad, a landfill. If you're gonna mine somewhere, don't mine a landfill. Okay? So a landfill is this huge place where they bury all this garbage. What happens if the poop, so here's our poop. It's tied up in plastic bags. And what do we know the plastic bags do? They keep the poop fresh, which we don't want. So instead of decomposing and becoming fertilizer for the ground and for plants, it's just staying in these landfills. Go ahead.
So you should like drop the poop in the gut instead of that you should open the plastic bag but not touch it.
Maybe so. Let's come back to that. So I'm gonna fast forward, pretend we read the whole story. Now, and I didn't do this, and I'm gonna make this recommendation because I usually do it. Oftentimes, before we start filling out the graphic organizer, we'll give sticky notes for kids, just like we do in part 9, where they draw the quick picture for each part. So I might give a sticky note and have them be kind of doodling that movie in their head on the sticky note first, and even multiple sticky notes if they would like to kind of map out the story beginning, middle, and end. So I usually do that. I forgot to do that at the beginning. Now, pretend we read the whole story, okay? So we'll just work with the part that we have. We're going to do this together. So who or what is this mostly about?
The 12-year-old girl.
12-year-old girl, Haruka. If you can write like a girl with an H. She's 12-year-old. She's from what country? Japan. Beautiful. What's happening to the who or what? What's happening to Haruka?
She's picking up dog poop with a bag.
Well, she was picking it up with a bag. And what is the problem? Why? And I'm going to give it the ending away since we didn't get to read it. She created, okay, let's see. She created empty paper milk cartons into ultimate poop scoops, and she sells those now. So it's much better for the environment because the poop can break down. It's not tied up in plastic. And it's recycling empty milk cartons. So it's 2 for 1. So if I'm like, okay, what's happening to Haruka? She started by, she took a problem. What was the problem?
The problem was her, she had to The plastic bags were bad for the environment.
Beautiful. Using plastic bags, which are already bad for the environment, and then it's keeping the poop fresh. And her solution to the problem was
To create
milk.
dog scoops.
out of recycled milk
Milk
cartons, she
cartons.
created dog scoops. Why? Why did she do this? Maddie.
Because it was bad for the earth. Turtles.
It was bad, and killing turtles. It was bad for the earth, the plastic bags, and so she did it to create a positive solution for the environment, right? And where? She started in Japan. When? It did say the year. Anybody remember?
2012. No.
2000. I didn't expect. We only said it once, so not a big deal. 2000. So was this a really long time ago?
No.
Sort of long time ago, or pretty recently?
Long for me. Somewhat long time ago.
That's hilarious.
No, not super
That makes you feel
Okay,
old.
well, like,
No, you're right. In the span of your lifetime, that's a long time ago.
19 years. Like, that's like.
I know. But let's think of all of
Mine's not so
history.
long.
All of history, is this a somewhat recent development?
Yes.
Yes, somewhat recent, but you're right, Rose. It doesn't feel long to me because I was older. But for you in your lifetime, 19 years is longer than even a
But
lifetime.
like, if you're citing something, you don't want to say things that you think from the last, like,
Yes.
the last 20 years.
I think.
All right, we're going to bring it back for time's sake. This gives you a quick glimpse into what part 10 can look like. Like I said, you can use a variety of comprehension strategies. We always use that quick visualization kind of as our base, making that movie in our heads.